Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our series, our mini series, Survivors, true stories that will impact and radically transform your life. Today, I have Andrew Graver, a very good friend of mine, and we're going to have an interview, a conversation between myself and Andrew, where he's going to share with us his story. How did he get to the place where he is today? What was it, or what were the situations, the thoughts, the processes that brought him to the place where he said, you know what? I'm going to serve Jesus Christ. I'm going to give my life to Christ. And as you know, every evening as we go through each interview, it's about that story of a real person, an average person, an everyday person, just like yourself, who's living an everyday life. What was it, or how did God get their attention? How did he transform their life? Because in their story, we're trying to illustrate he can do the same for you. True stories, real stories in the privacy of your own home. So my name is Michael Danzi. I just said we have Andrew Graver. We're going to start with a brief introduction. I'm just going to, give us an introduction as to who he is. Is he married? Is he single? Where does he live? Don't give out your address, Andrew, but, the areas from or what have you. So yes, Andrew, just give us a brief introduction as to, who you are and what.
Okay, quick introduction. You've already said already. My name's Andrew Graver. I'm from Birmingham City. I am a married man, married to a beautiful woman by the name of Chanel. She's a great woman. I've got 3 beautiful sons as well, Terrell, Mari, and Amari. I say Mari because that's how I call him, but his name's Amari. So the Terrell, Amari, and Tyler, and that's in age. Starting with Terrell's oldest to the youngest, Tyler. So that's my introduction. That's who I am. I'm just a young man, just fired up, ready to just share some good blessings that I've received. So cool. That's it. That's who I am.
Where are you originally from? You got a bit of an accent there, Andrew. Where are you from? What city?
From Birmingham City. Birmingham City. You can tell. Is it that strong?
Nah. To be honest, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Yeah. I never thought I had a strong Birmingham accent. Every now and again, if I listen to a recording or something, I can just hear it just like.
Yeah. Nah, I don't think you have, man. I don't think you have. Like if I say you're from Birmingham, you won't say Birmingham. So ain't that strong. So tell us one interesting fact about yourself.
One interesting fact about myself.
Yeah.
One interesting fact that probably. Yeah, but then again, I'll share this fact that I used to be a boxer.
Okay.
I used to box, and I loved it.
Was it amateur level?
Amateur level. And I wanted to do, I wanted to go pro, but because of all the complications and the corruptness that goes on sometimes, it's like kind of one of the things I just distance myself away from.
Right.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot of issues with money and things like that, and I just kind of just drifted away from that. But it's something that I love doing. I don't do it no more because of reasons I'll probably explain a little bit later. But something else as well. Currently trying to learn how to play the guitar. It's not working out yet. I just need a good teacher. YouTube's not working for me. Yeah.
You can ask Jonathan. He's a very good teacher.
I'm gonna, but I will. I'll ask him.
Jonathan's a very, very good teacher. All right, so share with us one of your favorite quotes. Doesn't have to be a biblical quote. It can be any, or it can be if you want. If you know one of your favorite quotes.
My favorite one is the very first scripture that I learned, which is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not unto your own understanding, and acknowledge Him in all your ways." And it's like that for me was so powerful, because it was like at the time I didn't really have good direction myself at that time when I first read that scripture. So when I read it, it just made so much sense, because already what I've already read and studied already made so much sense to me at that time. So when I read that, and I was like, that is the best thing anyone could have told me, because guess what? Everything that I tried before, up until that time when I gave my life to Christ, wasn't working in it. Right. So when it says to trust in the Lord with all your heart, I was like, I can do that. Definitely. Right. I can trust in the Lord to direct me and to just keep me safe, man. Keep me safe. Yeah.
Cool. So, cool. Mm-hmm. So, we obviously know that you are a professed Christian, right? How long have you been a Christian? And grow up going to church? Was there religion in your family or no religion? What was it like? So it's kind of two questions. How long have you been a Christian? And tell us about, you know, your upbringing in terms of, was there Christianity? Was there not? Was there religion and stuff like that? Was you going to church and things of that nature?
Yeah, I'll go with my upbringing first, so you get a little idea where I'm coming from. So when I was growing up, we did Sunday school, and so like there's me and my brother, my older brother, and then I had two cousins as well, and we all all similar age, so we all went to Sunday school together. And when we was young, we got a little bit older. We stopped going. I can't remember what the reason was, but then we returned to church again. When my younger brother and my younger sister was of a certain age, and I went with them, just obviously just to keep them company and whatnot. You know, it's a new environment for them. So, but what would happen when I get there? I'll end upstairs in the big children's class, and then they'll be downstairs in with the little children and stuff like that. And then, so we're there. I was going there. I was there for about at least a good 3 years. About 3 years going there consistently, and finally started going to secondary school. And when that happened, let me just rewind this a little bit, because like when I was going to church at the time, believe it or not, like I was just a good boy at that time, you know, like literally I wouldn't even swear, Michael, like nothing, none of them things like that. And I was like, because always conscious, like, you know, God's listening, God's watching, and these are the things that you would hear when you're at church, innit? So I stuck to that. But then like when I went to secondary school, it was the influence of the people that were around me at that time. So you can imagine going to secondary school, and then you got all these when they found out my name, they were like, yeah, you should roll with us.
Well,
yeah. So yeah.
Was that me for our listeners? What do you mean they found out your name? What does that mean, brother?
Okay, so like my family has a level of they're respected around that. Yeah, they're respected around the area where they live in. So they got this bit of a reputation around there, and so because most of the people that went to my school were from the area where my cousins were from. So at least like Borsaleve. So like I lived in Sparkbrook. Now Borsaleve is the next area over. It's a cousin, like it's a sister area right next door, and so I spent a lot of time over there. So all these young men now are there, and they're all from that way, from Highgate, Borsaleve sides. So when we got to school, it was like, yeah, you really should be just rolling with us. But the way that they were, it was like I didn't fit in, because I wasn't swearing, I wasn't going on a way, I wasn't behaving that way, you know, and whatnot. Even though, like, I would, if anyone tried to trouble me, I'd stick up for myself, because one thing I was always taught to do was, anyone puts your hand on them, you know, you hit back in it. So that's what I was taught from young. So anyway, so to hang around them, I had to just say like, yo, mom, can't really do the church thing no more, man, because I need to swear. If I'm going to church, I'm not swearing, so I'm not doing the things that they were doing in it. So I just was like, yeah, got to kind of branch away. But yeah, so we did do the church thing, and so I was familiar with God, and knew that Jesus was his son, and things like that. No, nothing too deep. I knew a few stories here, Samson and all these.
Right.
Nothing too deep, but yeah.
Cool. All right. So explain.
It was a two-part question. It was a two-part question, isn't it?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, how long have you been Christian?
So how long I've been Christian? Okay, then. So became a Christian 2016, early 2016. So say about January, February. Just literally picked up it was just self-help books. Just picked them up, and didn't realize that they had like counsel from the Bible in them.
Okay.
So I'm reading it, and this book's counseling me, like, but I'm looking at all these scriptures, like, and before that, I never really, I never really got the scriptures properly.
Right.
Like someone brought me a Bible, and this is like, you know, when I'm big man now, so about 25, someone brought me a Bible, and I read Genesis. Yeah, I think I read Exodus as well. And I just like, after I read them, I was just like, okay, how's this helping me now? Like nothing was touching me at all in there. Like I just didn't at the time. Ready, weren't doing nothing for me. So I just kind of just like had respect for the Bible, but kind of just put it aside, never touched it again, you know.
Right.
And then so anyway, so I'm picking up these books now, and when I'm reading the books now, like it's making sense in the way that the woman's putting it together and giving the counsel. So I'm like, yo, this is some serious stuff. I've never ever looked at the scriptures like this before.
Right.
And it's making too much sense in it. So I just decided, I just like, okay, then come near the end of the book, every one of these books, you know, they had like, you know, say a prayer and just give your life over to Jesus. Every single time I read the book, man, I was just like, I'm just giving my life over to the very first book. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I remember I was at work. So I'm at work, I'm jumping off because I was driving a forklift truck, and I'm jumping off the forklift truck, and I'm just reading until there's something else to do. And I was reading this book, like literally finishing the books in like a day. And these are like these ebooks anyway. So I was like, and then I was just giving my life, or every day I was just praying. I was praying. It's like, yeah, just take control of me, man. Before I knew it, I was just dropping everything that I wanted to get away from back then. You know, all the sins that I was doing at the time, in it, or the badness I was up to, and it was just like just dropping away. And I was just like, from that, I was just like set on fire. Didn't even really understand what was really happening, even though I'm saying the prayers, you know, like. So when I went down to a church, because one of the books is go and get some fellowship, go down to a church, and because at the time I was one of them Christians where like, I'm a Christian, I don't need to go to church. I got a relationship with God. So that's it. So I'm like, well, what do I need to go down there for? Man, I'm on fire at the moment. I'm like,
Right.
I don't need to do that. So anyway, I said, all right, then cool. The books have helped me so far. Innit? Just go down and see what's going on. So I'm looking for a church. Gone to the first church. So sitting down, I'm talking to this guy, and the guy's gone, yeah, come with me. And where they have their service is upstairs. So he's got to come upstairs and I just want you to I want to show you something. So he's like, took me to the pulpit, and there's a Bible in the pulpit. He goes, turn to John, I think it was, and he's like, okay, read that. And it's like, it's like, oh, Jesus is in me doing these things, like literally. And he showed me the scripture that said, and I was like, I was like, wow. At that time, I was just like, wow, because it's like, I know many people might be listening, might think to themselves like, yeah, but that's just because it told you and whatnot. I knew that there was something else working in me at that time. I was like, this ain't me. What was going on wasn't me, you know, like I knew for sure, 100% sure. I was like, this ain't me. So I'm still kind of baffled, like, because I've heard about, yeah, pray and ask God to do this and and yeah, you're praying, but does anything happen? That's all I used to have in my head. Does anything? But now I'm experiencing something, so I'm like, no. When I read that, I was like, no. I trust what was said there. I'm trusting it, and then that was it. I just literally, I was like, ooh, from that point there, faith was just solid from there. And then that was it. Just gave myself to God, and I just wanted to be baptized. And like the church that I chose was a Baptist church, down by Sparkbrook on Stratford Road. And I've gone in there, and it's just like I'm just sitting in there in a congregation, just like, yeah, okay, I'm listening to what's being said, and I'm just like, I just want to be baptized in it. I don't need no more preaching to it. Want to be baptized, man. So I'm just like, that's it. I just like, come on, man. When they spoke to me, I was like, listen, I want to be baptized. You want to be baptized? I was like, yeah, man. So it's like, listen, man, I really want to be a Christian. I don't want to waste no more time. So they said, yeah, speak to our pastor, one of the pastors anyway. Speak to him. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll speak to him. So he's phoned me up, and I'm just speaking to him about 5 minutes. He goes, right, you're ready. I was like, what is that it? And he goes, you're on fire. There's nothing else we need to discuss. He's like, as soon as possible. So I'm like, yeah, man, as soon as possible, man. That was it from there. That was it. It was a wrap.
Man, praise God, man. So let me go back. What led you to the place? There's two things you said that's caught my attention. what led you to the place to even want to pick up the self-help books? You see,
Oh
because
man.
I'm sure you are desiring self-help. You see, I want to help myself. Like there's something happening that now I need to go into these books and I need help. So what led you to that place to want to even pick up these books to even want help? What was going on that you thought, man, I need some help, man? Because it sounded like you were hungry, you were searching for something, because you said that you weren't even fully aware what was going on. You could see the fruits, man, my life is changing. I'm praying to
Mm,
God, but you didn't have the knowledge to say, yeah, that's the spirit, that's the Holy Ghost, or this. But you could
mm,
see evidence of a power working that you
mm,
said you weren't fully realizing what was really happening. You see? So
right.
yeah, walk us through that. What led you to even to get to that point to even pick up those books? What was going on that made you feel that way? You needed something more in your life.
Yeah, man. At that point, Michael, man, I was mashed up, man.
Hmm.
Like deep down inside, hurt, wounded, and like I always wore a mask, like, and the mask was just no one could see through it because I knew how to front it. I knew how to have that poker face, just to make everyone think that I'm all right. Everything's fine. No, don't worry about Andrew, man. Andrew's right. It's tough, man. Andrew can no matter what happens, he bounces back, and to a certain what level, yes. But then but then deep down inside, there were still things that were cutting me up. I was still hurt, but like it was literally like I felt like I wasn't adequate even to deal with like just the general challenges in life, like weird, because like I had so much confidence in certain areas, like where if you saw me back in the day working on the doors, like you would have been like, this guy ain't afraid and not like he's not scared of nothing in it. So it's like you'd think that yo, he's got the confidence, like there'll be like 40 odd people outside and this guy's telling everyone get in the line and do da, 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 da. I'm giving orders out and I'm confident with what I'm doing. It don't matter who's in the queue. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
talking. It's like so. It's like the confidence there is like yo, and people are seeing me like when I'm been coaching and things like that and boxing. So they're saying like this guy's a solid guy. He's not shy. Well, yeah. So it's like he ain't got no issues, he ain't got no problems. But man, there was just simple things like I didn't feel adequate. I didn't feel like I was equipped to do anything above being able to use my physical presence to get where I wanted to go.
Right, right.
So I'm struggling like relationships. I'm struggling in relationships, struggling to just get any jobs outside of like security or any kind of manual work or anything like that. So, and it's like, but nothing's happening for me. I'm not getting any. I'm doing things in order to buy the nice stuff, nice clothes. You want to do all the nice things and you want to go out and party and do what you're doing and feel like you're someone special
Right.
and just to feel like just to give yourself some kind of good self-esteem, but still I'm wounded, bro. I was mashed up, man, hurt. Like there was none of that was making any difference.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
And
deep.
sometimes I didn't even feel like I was even worth like just worth even living at times, like not
Hmm.
in the sense of like I would say that I wasn't suicidal to the point where I wanted to do something to myself, but I wouldn't mind if somebody else did it.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. And it there was times, man. I remember I've had some death threats on the phone. I'm like, yeah, okay, then just do what you're doing, and when you see me and you do it, and I'm just like, it's kind of I'm chuckling. At the same time, there's a bit of fear, but at the same time, it's like whatever in it. Like, so what? It doesn't matter. And it's like, do what you gotta do. And that's where I was. It was like it was mad. And then I feel like some of my I was destructive in relationships because I didn't feel competent in myself. I didn't feel good about myself in it. So I was mashing up relationship thinking, you say I'm not supposed to be in any kind of relationship too long and I'll just end up probably just destroying a relationship somehow, I was blaming the person, whatever the reason was, I was just finding a reason. So it doesn't matter. It's like, and a few times I remember some people saying like, no matter what I do, I just can't do right by you in it. I was like, in my head, I knew it. I was like, yeah, it's true. But what you do, you can't because I don't think I deserve it. And so I'm struggling like just like that. I'm just getting in. I'm I'm trying to settle down now. I'm trying to get away from a certain lifestyle I was living at the time. So I'm out partying. I'm out, you know, taking drugs and fighting and womanizing and doing all these things that I wasn't even really liking that much either. Even though it was kind of fun at times and I had some good time, I had some laughs and I had some jokes. Deep down inside, I was like, this is not what I want. This wasn't what I wanted. So I'm trying to settle down. And going in, that's when I started working. I went into just a 9 to 5. Let me get a 9 to 5 because for working the doors, I'm still around that kind of lifestyle. So I'm not going back to the doors. I don't want to go back to selling drugs or anything like that. I don't want to do none of them things no more now. I just want to get away from that. So go and get a 9 to 5. Go to a 9 to 5, still same thing, struggling. Weekend come, boom, like I'm back out doing what I was doing before.
Right.
It's like, so now I'm like, oh man, something's wrong.
Quickly, Andrew, quickly.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Those changes that you were making to even get the job, come away from the door work, right? Was that before you even started reading the books yet?
Yeah, this is before I started reading the books.
Okay.
So like at the time I'm just not even at the time I'm just going through life, you know, like kind of just like on autopilot.
Right.
And it's not like I don't know, man. I'm subconsciously intentional about doing these things that I'm doing. Is that making sense? Like I'm not really like planning it. I'm just like, I'm trying to survive, you know, like literally. Like, I'm trying to just do whatever it is that I need to be happy. So I'm just trying all these different things anyway. That's when I gone to work now. So I'm at work, still doing the same thing. Try to settle down. Come to a point I was like, this. I don't want this. I don't like, this is not helping me. This is not helping me. And it's like, I just got to a point where I was like, nah. It's a breaking point, man. It's a breaking point now. Like, what is it that I need to do in order to be happy inside, like deep down inside? Like I need that happiness. I need to find some happiness. So anyway, so like for years and years, I think that I was dealing with like a lot of deep depression and stuff like that, but just masking it.
So is that when you look back, you say?
Yeah. When I look back,
but at the time, you weren't aware that you would call it depression
at the time.
Yeah. So
at the time, nah. At the time, I wouldn't have called it. I would have seen like, I'm just low today, or I'm just low this week. Like sometimes it will go on for months.
Wow.
Like months just being low, just low, and it's like just, man, the times where I just sat by myself and just like kind of just distance myself from everybody and stuff like that, because it was everything just getting to me. And it's like, you know, you see, it's mad because you see other people and you admire what they're doing in life, like their achievements and things like that. And it's not just about material and stuff like that, but it's like, you've done so well. You're a great, like you got a great job, got a house, you got great, you know, you've grown up your children, you're good dad, you're good mom, whatever it is, whoever I was looking at the time. I'm like going, oh, you got all these things going for yourself, and I haven't got them things. So like I haven't really got that stability. I haven't got that kind of like, you know, and it's like a decent living either. Right. So that's what I want. Like, you know what I mean? I just wanted to just have a decent life. Anyway, so I just said, that's enough, man. I said, like, I need to do something. And I just started just saying, you know what, man, like, yeah, man, just go pick up some books to help you, man, like, or something, or just whatever, because never tried it before. So what harm can it do, man? Just pick up some books, man, and read and try and learn something in it. So you can just get yourself out the state of mind anyway. So I'm just like, so I just started reading. And that's what I started. I ended up just started reading them self-help books. That was it's just obviously broken person, like just literally mash up. I remember like when I moved back into my mum's house, you know, because man, this is what I mean as well, man. You just like, you kind of just live like you're just a free spirit, just going from this place to that place to this place. I've been all over, bro, man. Like lived in probably nearly every area in Birmingham, yeah, Wolverhampton. I'm just like, I just don't know where I want to be, man. And it's like, I can't settle down in it because it's like I still don't know what it is that's gonna make me happy. So I'm just chasing, and it's just like you whatever you're chasing, you don't seem to be getting it, especially when you're chasing whatever's out there. So. Yeah, man, that was it, man. I was just desperate, like literally. And it's like, because of my pride and that, my ego. I just couldn't go and talk to just like a man to man like that.
Right. So
Couldn't
you
just go and talk.
ask for anybody, help from anybody.
Nah, bro, man. Like, you know what? It's funny, you know. Listen, because like my older brother in it, man. It's my older brother in it. So like with him, I'd have to be like kind of probably drunk or whatever in a state, like, and then I can talk. I can probably just let it out in it. And the one day that I did it, man, I was like, you just gotta tell him the truth, man. I was like, bro, but this time I'm drunk though, man. So he's probably just thinking this is just drunk talk, get it? but the thing is, like, I'm not that drunk because I'm like I'm saying it as straight as possible, and I'm just like, bro, man, I'm wounded, I'm hurt, man. I'm like, I don't really like my life at the moment. And I don't like doing it. I don't like this lifestyle. I didn't like it, man. It was yeah, man. It was horrible, man. Horrible times, man. So yeah, man. I just kind of broke down to him. No crying though. So he probably just thought, oh, man, he's all right, man. So and that's another thing, man. It's like, yeah, tears coming to my eyes, like how I really feel. It wasn't coming out how I really felt. And it was like times where I was by myself, like let's say I'll be sitting in a car, next thing you know, I was thinking about my children. I think, what's going on, man? How comes I need to do better than what I'm doing? Yeah, okay, you do what you can, and you've done what you can, but I need to do way much better than this. And I used to just burst out in tears, man, just sitting there just crying, man, crying hard. And then times where I was just alone, like I'll be out clubbing, leave the clubs, go home, and I'll just sit down there by myself. And then like sometimes what I'll do is like I'd have like some alcohol in the house in it, like, and I would have brought that probably early on in the day, not even remembering I've done it. Come in the house, oh bonus, open up the bottle, and I'll just start drink the whole bottle, sit there trying to sleep, can't sleep, and I'll just mash up, man, just bad. Just remember, just like, yeah, man, sometimes I was just there, just wounded. Remember just getting on my knees, just crying and all sorts, man. I remember one time I got on my knees crying, I was just praying, and it was like, I just felt like God touched my back kind of thing.
Wow.
And I got up and I went downstairs and I just had it was like Christmas time, and I went downstairs and I just had a good Christmas day.
Right.
Everybody but at the time I was like, I don't even want to do this, no, I don't want to do it, don't want to be fake, but at that moment just had that touch, man. I was just like, whoa, what happened there, man?
Wow.
Mood just changed just like that. So I remember when sometimes I was sitting down with my bedrooms and that, and I was like, yo, listen, man, I know God's real, man, but then not ready to make the decision or anything like that, like, because I just didn't, yeah, man, it's just, my mind was just completely gone, I think, at that point. And I was just, because I was just out there and I was just running around doing what I was doing, it just wasn't that time to stop and think and just allow God to just enter properly in it. So it was just one of them at that time, at that moment anyway. So yeah, man.
Wow, man. Wow. Could you put your finger on some examples of what were some of the things that was making you feel that way? One or two examples that was making you feel like you don't like yourself, you don't like your life, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied. You know, as be transparent as you want. You don't have to be as deep as you know. But there's certain things obviously we don't want to share with everybody. So pick and choose ones that you feel comfortable to share, just to give a real picture of what were some of the things either you were doing or stuff that may have been done to you that brought you to the place where you're like, I'm dissatisfied with my life, man. Look at this. Because you're describing it, but you haven't really said to me or to the viewers, you know, what were some of those things, or give us one or two examples, ones that you're comfortable sharing, that you're like, this was not making me happy. Even I was doing it, I got to a place I don't like this no more. At one point, you didn't question these things, right? Now all of a sudden, you're not only questioning it, you're becoming dissatisfied. But at one point, you probably wasn't even questioning. You're doing it. This is fun. This is how life's supposed to be. This is how I am. I don't mind. Like, you go to sleep and be like, do you know what I mean?
Man,
and now you can't even sleep. So give us an example, one or two examples, ones that you're comfortable with.
I just the ones that just come to my mind anyway. I just give them. So anyway, like, so first is like just You know, there's a point in my life where I just went, you know what, I'm gonna do just me for now. So like, where I used to have my boys like pretty much weekends, my children, and then it came to a point where I was like, yo, I just need to be out there doing whatever I need to do in it and whatnot. Making excuses, probably like, yeah, man, just gonna make some money and whatnot. I have to do this and da da da. But the truth is, like, I was just being selfish, and I decided that I was just wanted to do what I wanted to do, because like from young, my oldest boy, like he's a big man in it. Like I'm 17 when I had him, and then like so from the age of day, I'm taking it serious, and I'm like, need to get a job, need to look after my youth and da 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 da. And then the turning point came where I was like, yo, like I don't think I've experienced being youthful or just doing what I want. You know, when you're young, you can just go and play and do what you're doing, and that's what I felt. So anyway, so I just decided that like I was going to do what I wanted to do, and eventually I started to feel guilty about doing. Just going out clubbing and just doing, you know, here and there, and I'm all over the place anyway. So I'm just like, I need to spend some more time with my children. And it was like, what hurt me the most was that like I actually wanted to do it, but then I couldn't do it. I actually wanted to spend time with them, but then I just couldn't spend no. I just couldn't find myself around to do it. And then if I did like go and get them, I'd like probably leave them with my mum or my cousin and just get off.
Right.
Like, yeah, man, it was a struggle, because it's like I was like, I know this is wounding them. I know it's wounding them, but then I'm trying to justify it at times by going, man, they're with their family, man, they're all right, and da da da, they'll be fine. And but the truth is, man, eating me up. But then now now at this age, and when I look back, I'm like, I'm just a young little man, not even knowing how to deal with life myself, trying to raise young children and afraid of taking the responsibility. Because the responsibility isn't just going to work, having a job, and then just giving them money here and there and taking them out and do that. All them things, it was like there's more to it. There's the going to you know, the parents' evening. There's the like helping them to function in life properly and teaching them principles and morals and all of these different things that like I didn't even have the guidance myself. So where am I going to get that from to give them? I didn't have certain kind of the standard, like what my mum was like teaching me when I was growing up. It was that old school, obviously from, you know, Jamaican kind of bringing up, and with proper, you know, there are morals and principles, but then it was like, just for me giving it to them, it's basic, not really even realizing why I'm really teaching certain things. I'm just literally regurgitating what my mum was giving me in it. It's like literally just that, like not getting it properly. And then so like them little things, like just not being confident to be able to do that and to be able to raise your children in that way. Yeah, man, I shied away from it, man. I had to be honest, man. I was a coward.
Wow.
Man, big time, man. And it was hurtful. It was just hurtful, man. I just used to think to myself, man, what's going on, man? Why can't I do it? Like little things as well, like, you know, promising to pick them up and then not picking them up.
Wow.
Promising them I'm going to do things with them, but then I don't do it. I'm just like, let me just keep this little bit of change for this. Let me do what I'm doing over there, and kind of just like not realizing that, like, no, it's not that you're like you're a worthless baby father. So some people say it's just that you was afraid, you was only young, you was afraid of it. But at the time, man, it took me a long time, man, to just kind of get over that.
Right.
The edge, you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, there was times where just like, yeah, man, I was just hurt. Sometimes when I was hurt, just going with emotions, just going through life, just trying and avoiding it as well, just like avoiding the feelings. Sometimes it's like just busying myself and doing other things. I think that the other thing I could say was like the effect that I left behind, like with my destructiveness in other people's lives. And that was another time when I was like, what am I doing, man? There was once, and I just want to just, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna say it like this: that like one time I'm out selling drugs, and so I'm sitting in a car with a woman and baby's in the back, and I'm driving up and down. I'm selling drugs, and it's only until like when I jumped out of the car, went to my brother's got this guy wants to buy some drugs, jumped into the car, sitting down in the car. My brother's like, yo, wicked, you know. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, this is like when he said it was like he knows how to make me laugh, and it's like, yeah, man, you're wicked, bro, man. So I'm just like, what do you mean? And he's like, yo, I thought I was gangster. This is what he's saying. So I thought I was gangster. He's sitting in a car with a young baby. What's going on, bro? And I was like, what? As soon as he said that, it was like in my head, I was like, yeah, that's bad, isn't it? And I didn't even, up until then, Michael, like, it didn't even like in my head, it didn't really switch in my head that like, yo, that's bad. That's bad. It's like there's an innocent child, and I did feel guilty, and then after that, I felt like I was kind of obligated to kind of take care of him, like, you know what I mean, like kind of like look after him, kind of thing. So I was just like, yo, I'll just sit in the yard with you, and you go out there and do what you're doing to the woman. And it was like, even then, no, it's like, I'm not even saying you guys sit in the house, and I go out there. I'm sending her out, you know what I'm saying? And it's man, I'm just like, yo, what's going on? Like in my head, I'm just like, yeah, you're wrong, man, you're wrong. And it's like in my mind, I was like, I wanted to get more women on that, and get more women out there running around and doing what they were doing. I just didn't care about what was happening in their life, and like, you know, their safety, or, you know, their freedom. I was kind of like money, and doing what I was doing, and things like that. Sometimes it was only till someone pointed it out to me. It was like, yo, nah, this ain't good, man. This ain't good, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Like sometimes I was sitting there, I sat there with one of my cousins. He's like, I've mentioned it. I go, man, kind of like, yo, did you reckon that we were this messed up when we did at this age? And it was like, it's like, nah, you know, I never thought we would be like this. And then I'm talking about myself now, and it's like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you, I've been wanting to say to you, you know, to calm down. I'm like, what? Like, why don't you say something before? And he's like, he's wanting to say it, but like, then it's like, it's only until I've said it now, he's built up the courage to go, yeah, I wanted to say that to you. And sometimes I just, like, honestly, at them times, man, I just need someone to say it to me. Otherwise, it's all right, innit? No one's saying nothing. If everyone's cool with it,
right.
Carry on, innit? Carry on. So, yeah, man. And in times like that, when someone says something and it would just like, yeah, just catch me in the moment, I'm just like, yeah, man. Or do you know what happened to that? Remember that time when you hit that guy the other day, and do you know what happened to him? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, you know, he was in hospital, blood clot. I'm like, I didn't. Yeah, man. And it would just hit. It would just start to. Do you know what I mean? It started to run over in my mind, like, yo, what am I doing, man? Like, did I really do that? Did I really hit him that? Did I really do that to him? Was I really that harsh? Because to me, it was just like, yeah, man, I just, like what we used to say is, I just touched him up, innit? Touch him up doesn't mean just like, you know, you give the man one. Touch him up, you've gone boom, 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 and then boom, 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 and it's like boom, 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 and then on the floor, and then you're like, yeah, okay. So it's not just, you know, you know, it's not the act, just the, you know, you see a fight one day and you probably see them hit each other once or twice. It's really, really violent, man. I was horrible. I was horrible at one time. I was very, 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 very horrible. But so it's like sometimes afterwards, if someone said something to me, then it will switch in my head up. One time, yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it there.
Yo, that's, man, it's interesting listening to what you're saying and describing how you can go from almost feeling nothing bad about what you're doing, though it's very destructive, because you're gaining from it, you're gaining financially, you're gaining emotionally, but then to come to a place where now you're fully not liking what you're doing without any type of, and this is why different stories are so important for people to hear, without any kind of real human intervention saying, hey, you need to follow me, come to my church, here's a leaflet, here's a this. Something was working behind the scenes to bring to the place to desire something more. And then for you to accept, yeah, I actually want something more. Just stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop. And then one day go, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, these decisions I've made these past couple of years, these ain't good decisions. And
Mm,
the one that hit me the most was the one you're talking about with your children, your sons. You know what I
mm,
mean? Your first son, you know, rationalize, yeah, you know what? I'm young. I need to go and have fun right now. Boy, I don't want to really deal with this responsibility. And then come to the place you're like, this ain't right, man. I'm neglecting my children.
mm,
For me, it's just amazing hearing the transition.
mm,
You see, hearing that transition where it's like, did you try to make the transition? No, somehow it came upon you. Somehow something was playing in your mind. Somehow it brought you to the place to even start to even question it. You see, a journey. It was a
mm,
journey to bring you to that place where now you're questioning it. Now you're looking at things a bit differently. Now you're like, and that's why I asked you about the job, the two changes you made, big changes. Let me get a job, 9 to 5. Let me come away from door work because I want to get away from the lifestyle. You're trying something. And I was
mm,
like, was that before you read the books? Yeah. So something was working
mm.
to make you
Right.
desire something better, something that was more stable for your kids, for yourself. You know what I mean? And I find it so far. We ain't finished yet. We ain't
Yeah,
gone nowhere
yeah,
yet
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you know, yeah. Those was those two examples hit me, bro. Those two examples hit me, man. Um, so let me pause there quickly. Um, Yeah, so Andrew, man, what you were saying, it's proper deep, man. It's proper deep. My next question, excuse me, I want you to try and bring out and elaborate a bit more on the actual process of surrendering your life to Jesus, because you already touched on you got baptized in the Christian church there, in the Baptist church, you gave your life, you got to a place you're like, look, I don't need to learn no more. Let me do this, right?
Mhm, mhm.
How what was it that gave you the confidence? What was it that you was learning that brought you to that place to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this? What was it about that you was what was it about God? Because look, many people don't, for many different reasons, are not interested in God. For many different reasons, don't want to give their life to Jesus,
Mhm,
for
mhm,
whatever the reason may be. So
mhm.
you have come through that journey to say, you know what, now this makes sense. When there was a time it didn't make no sense. So run us through that process of how did that happen? What was the turning point that made you think, yeah, this is the truth, man. I'm going to accept Jesus.
Man, that's literally what it was. Just Jesus. Like, it's just when I was going to church when I was young, you'd hear about Jesus being the Son of God.
Right.
You hear the little story and everything like that, born in the manger. Um,
It's funny how casual you said that. Yeah. 'Cause I know exactly how you feel in the way you said that. It don't mean nothing when we're just hearing those kind of things like that. It's not broken down.
like, listen, like, it didn't, it didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything at all to me. Didn't get it. Yeah, it's got some, but then like, what did that have to do with me? And then dying on the cross, even that, I was like, I don't get it.
Mm.
Like I don't, I genuinely just didn't get it at the time, and it's like I still didn't even get it even when I gave my life to him. Like that's how weird it is. But the thing that got me was the fact that I experienced a change and a
Wow.
massive change. Like
Wow.
that's what really got me. So like it weren't all the studying and the understanding because there was no studying. Literally, I read the books and that was it.
Right.
Like there was no further like, okay, let's give him some Bible studies. Let's help him to understand
Right.
this in the Bible, help him to understand that in the Bible. All I knew is that whatever I asked for, Jesus did that in my life.
Hmm.
So
And
that was
what was it you asked for, Andrew? What
I
was it?
just I just asked for like literally was like, just change. I want to change. I don't
Right.
want to be like this no more.
Right. Right.
Whatever it is, I'm accepting that there's something wrong.
Right.
Like literally, like I'm just accepting there's something wrong, and I don't, you know what? I want to just give my life over to God. Whatever it is that you want me to do at this point, God, I'm doing it.
Mm.
But I'm making a commitment to God. Then now I'm finding out that He's doing something inside of me now in it. Like, so it's like He's actually getting me to stop doing those things that were clouding my mind. You
Right.
know, drinking, taking drugs, all those things that were just like really clouding my mind. So I'm not getting what's going on at first. Like I'm like literally that for them ones where like my understanding of the Bible, like yeah, I can just drink wine and all those things and it's fine. I literally one day I was drinking the wine and I went, something's wrong with this. Like I just knew right there, I was like, something's wrong with this. I said, I don't want this no more. Literally in my head, I was like, I just don't want none of it no more. And I just opened up the bottle, rest of it went down in the sink, and then I got the other, put them down, and that was it, done. From that day, no more drinking. I was like, tried to slow down, no more smoking and stuff like that. So I tried to go to the electronic cigarettes, and the thing kept just bursting in my mouth, and I was like, and you don't want me to do this either, do you? like you don't need to depend on this. Like that literally what was in my head. I was like, and I know I don't need to depend on this either. And so I was free in the bin. I was like, well, you got to do what you need to do now because I'm craving something.
Wow.
And after that, like I never craved it. Like literally when I threw it in the bin, like there was no craving.
Wow.
Day after day was coming by. I'm praying, getting through the books, and I'm just praying, saying more prayers. And then I'm like, even down to womanizing, like I'm big on, like, man, I see a woman walking a road, big bum, I'm looking. Now I'm like, I'm not interested.
Wow. Wow.
Like pornography, whatever was sent to my phone, any videos, delete, 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 delete. I'm deleting them all. I'm like deleting numbers, girls' numbers. I'm deleting them because I know all it's about is just sex. So I'm
Right.
deleting them, I'm deleting, and I'm going through it, and I'm like, don't want no more of that no more. Don't want it no more. Violence. I'm like, I don't want to hit anyone no more. Like I don't want to put my hands on nobody no more now. I'm done with it. Like there was just something that was just like compelling me not to do it. Like I'm like, some people say certain things to me, and I'm like, man, I'd love to really give you something. Man, I remember one time I was just there, and a guy said something to me at work. I'm at work, and a guy said something to me, and this guy like thinks he's a bit of a lad, tough man. So he's like, he said something to me, and I'm like, in my head, I'm looking at him, and he's talking, and he hasn't even realized that I've switched. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, I've thought to the point where like literally I was standing over him and I was just beating down on the ground. Like literally, that's where my thoughts went.
Right. Right.
And I had to shake it off. Like I just went, well, I just went to myself, I gotta go. And I was walked off. I was like, what happened there? Like, why did my mind go so far? I'm literally clocking things like this now. And like, well, I don't want to be like that no more. But why did my mind go that far? And I was like, I just need to learn to stay away from people. People say something, I need to walk off that way. I need to go. And it was literally little things like that. Like, it was just like,
But in
it
the
was just
past,
like,
how would you have responded?
oh man, in the past, I was like, everything that I thought to do, I would have done.
Right. Right.
You see, like, so he's on one side, like, so there's this conveyor belt
Right.
with the engine that's going across. He's fixing like the axle, and he's fixing something on the axle of the car. So I'm like thinking like, I'm gonna jump over this conveyor belt, and I'm gonna give it to him. Like in my head, I saw it going on. It's like I said something back to him. He said something that triggered me again, like he made it worse. And I was like, over the boom, 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 boom. And just like, and I'm even looking at the belt, like, how am I gonna get over this quick enough to get over there and give him some? Like, I'm just planning it all in my head, like, and it's rapid. Like, it's not a long thing, because like that's how my mind used to work when it comes to violence. Like, I would think everything that I'm going to do through already.
Right.
Like, that's how quick. It's like if I'm in a club, I'll be like, all right, he's over there, and I don't like him. And I just look around and I go, oh, he's with him. And I clock everyone that's with the person.
Right.
I go, if I'm going to give it to him, then I better be prepared to give it to them too as well. Like, and I'm thinking about, okay, boom, 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 boom. I'm going to this one first, that one. And literally that's how my mind was working. So when I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, he doesn't even know what's going on with himself. Like sometimes I used to say to people, leave me alone or walk away. Because the reason why is because I've already planned what I'm going to do to you. Carry on talking, boom. Before you know, you've been hit, and I've done what I had in my mind to do to you anyway. So it's like That's what's going on. Like, and
Now
I
this
just,
time you're walking away.
I'm walking away now, walking away. Like, I'm literally walking away. I remember like this guy said something. Oh man, I remember like I'm trying to do the right thing now. I'm having a little issue with two guys at work, and I'm just like messing about, put it on one of them, like messing about just to see how he would react. And
Right.
he went, oh, no, I didn't really want it. And I thought, yeah, yeah. And I said to another one, I said, yeah, man, friend's a bit soft in there, da da da. And he goes, no, you're soft. And I was like, it's like I'm like, so I'm there now, and I'm like, why did I do this, man? Because I know I'm not gonna, I don't want to take it that far, but I just want it. My ego's still there in it, so I don't want it. I just wanted to just make them feel like, make them know that, like, you know, it's still there. But then I'm going, but I'm not gonna take it. But he's going, he's the way he's taking it. He wants me to take it there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but I'm not gonna take it there. So like, unless I'm gonna do it, just humble yourself. So I'm there, and he's like, you better say sorry, and I'm like, now that's one thing I'm not gonna do. Like, said what you said before that, but that's not one thing I'm not gonna do now, and it's too late now, isn't it? Like,
Right.
you know, like I'm just going, you know, we're all wrong, and I'm not apologizing. I'm just not at this time, and but we can be cool if you want us to be cool. But this guy's just like, he's not having it. But then I just like for, just telling you now, that's not gonna happen. So what we doing? Why are we still here looking at each other? And then he's gone, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he just drove, and I just walked off. He drove off, I walked off. I thought, okay, cool, man. But in my head, I'm like, oh, man, was I a coward? Why didn't I do it? Like, literally, man, I'm going, why didn't I do it? I'm still upset with myself, because I'm like, I should. And then the next day he's coming as well, and he's like, he's walking like he's he-man. And I'm like, oh my days, he thinks he can do something to me. So like, I'm just like, man, I was struggling with things like that, man. Like people saying things to me, and I can't, I'm not, and I'm just like, Lord, help me. I've seen guys like enemies of mine, like literally, like every single time I saw them, I just go for them. I beat him up. I saw this guy, and I was like, man. Normally, I'd stop the car, get out of the car, and I'm going at him. Do you know what I mean? And then now I'm like, I'm driving past, and I went, just something just said, just wave. And I just looked, when I looked at him, I just waved. And it was like, in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm done with that, done with this life. And I just carried on driving. I seen his face drop, like, what does happen there? And I'm like, just like literally, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with it, man. Done with that now, done with it, man. I was just like giving it up. And one thing that helped me, because I was confident in what I could do. So I was like, yeah, just leave it. Because I know I can do. And so now it's time to just start stepping away and walking away from it. So yeah, man, it was just like literally just that, like literally Christ was just tugging me away from these things, like pulling me away. And I was just like, yeah, man, I just found some things like way much easier, like womanizing and drugs and drinking and stuff like that. Them things just quite boom, it's just done. Like, and every now and again, obviously still eat, I don't even realizing it's ego, still something still going on, or like, you know, I want to do something for, you know, like for my children. I'm still, these little things, I'm still struggling, not realizing why I'm struggling, like, do you know what I mean, with these things. So like, there's some healing that needs to be done, but I'm not realizing at the time, and it's just not, yeah, just not educated at the time to just understand why I'm still going through that. But yeah, but other things, just like that. And I just knew, that was it. I just knew there, and I was like, doesn't matter what anybody says to me, no matter what anyone says to me, I was like, I know that was Christ, because that was not me. Like, it wasn't me. I struggled with it. I swear, like sometimes I'll be there and I'll be like, why have I got this battle again? Why am I with this woman? Like, why am I? And it's like, and I didn't want to do these things, but I just kept doing them. I kept doing them. I kept doing them. And then all of a sudden, it was like, there was just like, it was easy. Like within weeks, like just done. It was like done. I was finished with it, finished with that life, like literally finished with it. Happy as well. Like, I was so happy, so like I was literally on cloud nine all the time. I was like, yeah, man, this is good, man. Like, I'm a Christian. I was happy to be a Christian. Like, literally, I was like, whatever the Lord wants you to do, I'm doing it, man. Whatever he wants, that's it.
Powerful.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Man, so we've gone through how you, like the journey, man, so far, how God got your attention, how he got you to start just even being willing to even look retrospectively at what you were doing, how you were living. And it's funny, not funny, but it's interesting how, you know, just these books self-help books, but in there because there was the word, the scriptures in there, and then
Yeah.
coming to the point where, like you said, I like the point where you said you knew because you asked him to change your life, and he
Mm,
did.
mm,
That's how you
mhm,
knew.
mhm,
That's the transformative power of God's grace. That's how you knew. You asked him. And because you'd struggled before, and all of a sudden you was able to drop this, drop that, these changes that's happening. So
mhm.
there's evidence you're seeing that God is answering your prayer.
Yeah,
Christ is
yeah,
in
yeah,
literally
yeah,
working in
yeah,
your life. And what's
yeah, yeah.
interesting, you ain't going to church yet, ain't
Mm-hmm.
having Bible studies yet.
Yeah.
Like, so this is what I love about your story. Let's say religion now is not present, but then true Christian, true relationship.
Like
Your
literally,
relationship has started. It's
yeah.
growing. You've got a relationship with God.
Like
You
literally,
know.
literally, that relationship was there,
Mm,
solid as well. With like, 'cause the fact that like, when I was able to prove it with the word itself, made me
wow.
solid on my belief in the Bible.
Wow. Okay.
Regardless what anyone said, you know, the Muslims, I had Muslim guys come up to me and they were like, yeah, but you know that this says this and the Bible says, then I was like, listen, whatever you're saying, one day I will study it and I'll refute what you're saying because I know that what the Bible's saying is true. At the
Wow.
time, yeah, okay, I'm not good with the sword and I don't understand it as well, but like at the same time, I was like completely convinced. I was like going, there is nothing else that you can say. Because I know for sure that it was Jesus, the one that's in the Bible, the one that's written in the Bible. He did this. I know it was him. I knew it was him. So that was it. Was just solid. It was like the word, everything the word says, and that's why when I read that scripture, like trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not unto your own understanding. That's why I was like, I'm ready to just follow whatever it is that you're saying because I know that whatever's in this is the truth. And that's it. For me personally, it doesn't matter what you say until you can't. You can't tell me what's happened. You can't tell me what's happened to me. There's nothing else that could do what Jesus has done in me. Absolutely not. Like if you can't offer me Jesus, then to me personally, it's like no, I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested at all. You can tell me how many faults. You can tell me how many this and that and this and whatever it is. The verses are changed and the Hebrew and the Greek and oh, I mean this and that. And I'm like, I don't care what you say, man. I'm like, for me, from what I know and what I've experienced, and the fact that like the experiences has happened in my life, like I can feel like remember when I first met you, and I was like empirical evidence, man, that
Miracle
like
evidence. Yeah.
that the Bible is true, man. Like did you like for real, like I've changed, like literally I've changed from the inside. Like there's no pretending, there's nothing like that. People have said to me before, like, yeah, kind of waiting for you to go back to normal and da 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 da. And I'm like, no, this ain't no pretending. This is not me trying to pretend nothing. Like trust me, man, I'm gonna be here for a very long time, man, because I have proof and evidence, man. Like there's no way I could turn away from God. There's no way, not possible that I could ever do that.
Yes. Two last more questions. What have there been any struggles and challenges you've experienced as a new Christian? I mean, like attending church now, what kind of struggles or if any, has there been any struggles or challenges you've experienced um as a Christian?
Yeah, since I've been a Christian, yeah, I've struggled, man, with a few things, and um, the main thing was at the time, anyway, is my lack of understanding of code of conduct and Christian behavior and things like that. So when you go into like the church that I was going to at the time, there was no Bible studies whatsoever. So weren't getting a deep understanding. Like it's
Okay.
only until I walked into the Seventh-day Adventist churches when I really started studying and learning the Bible. Like before that, it was not like I was learning for myself. But
Right.
like when you're trying to learn this stuff yourself, it's a big book. So you're gonna need you're gonna need someone to kind of show you around the book in it. Like
Right.
so, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot to learn, and then and learning it, like scripture on scripture and so forth in it. So the reason why I came to the Seventh-day Adventist Church is because literally because like I read the book of ministry healing. Like, so when I read the ministry of healing, I was reading the book, and I like literally I could not put the book down.
Wow.
Read it in about a week or so, and I was like, what I just read in this book, every single word in this book is what I, in my mind and my heart, I was like, this is what it means to be a true Christian. Everything else that I heard, like was going on in the Baptist church at the time, there were certain things that were said, certain behavior, that I just didn't agree with at the time. Like, no disrespect to them, I love them people to bits, and they're cool people. But then it's like, it's the teaching that wasn't there, and the understanding. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, naturally, if there's no good teaching, there's no understanding, then you know, things can go all over the place anyway. But anyway, so I'm just in my mind, I'm just like, yo, man,
You're qualifying there that yeah, good Christians, good people.
no, listen,
but you just wasn't getting the more of the explanation of the word. You needed the word to help you grow in your walk.
That's what I wanted. Like, listen, I'd say all day long they are Christians, man. Like, you know, and it's nothing to do with them. It's like what I was learning. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't getting that. So basically, I just like thought to myself, man, like, this is what it means right here, like what I can see right here. So I'm going to get some more of these books to go back to the church and give them the books, like literally like that. I'm just witnessing to them. I'm like, listen, man, this is what it's like. Because I'm not, in my mind, I'm going, I know you guys are Christian. When you guys read this, you're gonna be like, yes, that what you just showing us there, that's it, Andrew. So I'm going back there showing them. I gave out the books, man. But then I went back to go and get something else as well from the church. So I've gone back, sat down in some of the Adventist church, and then as I'm ready to leave now, because I'm like, I thought like, yeah, man, I kind of know my stuff, and and then someone says like, stay for the presentation. I'm like, presentation? I saw this young guy get up, walk into the front. I'm like, what's he gonna teach me? Like the arrogance, foolishness, well, like, just lack of understanding at the time, innit? So anyway, so I'm like, what's he gonna come up with now? Like, when I saw him break down Revelation, I was like, oh my days, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Never, it's never been explained to me like this before. Like, literally, I was like, whatever's going on in here. And you know what, as well, because at the time, you know, funny enough, like, I was keeping the Sabbath.
All right.
Yeah. So like, I've already got the understanding of the Sabbath already. I'm like, because I'm in the church, you know, and I'm in the church, and I'm like, they got me to stand up front one time, and I'm like, I'm telling them about the Sabbath in the church, in the Baptist church, and everyone's like, what's going on here? But I'm just like, nah, man, I'm saying it, man. I'm saying it as it is. Like, yeah, man, they're cool, because you know what? To be fair, they always invite me back, you know, and they're just like, yeah, come back, man, and
that's nice.
Yeah, give us this and give us that, man. Like, still good friends with them, still my friends and stuff like that, man. Never stop speaking to them. Never will, man. Cool people, man. Because that was the first time I've ever experienced like Christian love. Like, I walked in there, guys, like, I'm sitting there, and he's like, come over, pat me on the back. He goes, welcome, man, welcome, son. I'm like, wow, like, I've never, no one's ever welcomed me like this before anywhere. Like, it's just like, just randomly just comes up to me. I've never had that before. So anyway, so that was it, man. For me, I was just like, oh man, this is where I need to be right here. Like, whatever's been taught here, it is 100% like good for me. And it's coming back, I'm learning more on the studies, and I was getting all these studies, and my faith was just going out the roof, man, because it's just getting deeper and deeper, man, by the word. You know, and I've lost what you asked me, the question.
No, you answered it. The last one is, what has made you not give up? If you could, sum up with one point, of course, there's going to be many different points that helped you, but if you could mention probably the most important thing for you that's helped you not quit so far, what's kept you going, what's brought you through to not give up? Because I'm sure the thought has crossed your mind. I'm sure you felt my feelings. This is encouraging. You know what I mean? So what has made you stay on this journey with Jesus?
Okay, so my first experience anyway, like when I felt like that, like this was like very, very, very young in the faith, and I made a few mistakes and whatnot, and just before I was getting baptized, this is in the Baptist church, and I was about to that same man I was talking about that took him over, touched me on the shoulder, and shook my hand and everything like that. I was just going through some tough times at times. I was like, listen, man, I don't think I'm supposed to be a Christian. I think that yeah, man, I just felt bad about some of the things that I did, some of the mistakes I was making in it. So, and just not getting it right 100%. I just wanted to get things right all the time. That's what I'm like. I'm a perfectionist, and if I make a little mistake here or there, it's like that's it. I'm just like, nah, I'm not quite out for this anyway. So, that's how I felt anyway at the time. He's called me to the house. He's gone, what's going on? I just told him straight what was happening. He went, he's like kind of like just like, Andrew, that's nothing, man. Like that's like whatever you was going through at that time, it's just like nothing. So don't worry about it. He said no one is looking at you like that. And I was like, wow. And I was like, because I thought everyone's probably gonna thinking, yeah, man, he's just bad news. He's da 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 da. Because there's anything you do wrong, and you just kind of think, yeah, just figure it out. He's the bad guy in it. So anyway, he just encouraged me massively, man. He encouraged me massively to like just go and get baptized, man. So that was it. And I think after that, I just think that there's little things here and there, but nothing that made me feel like not like leaving the faith, like nothing, like for sure. Anyway, I'm not leaving Jesus.
But what keeps you though? What keeps you going? Why do you stay? If you had to give, yeah, if you had to, or
That,
if you had,
so that answers part of the question.
yeah,
Good people around me, the good
okay,
people around me, yeah.
right,
And then what keeps me solid is just the thought of where Christ took me from and where he brought me to is
right,
enough to keep me. Cause like, yeah, man, he took me from a bad place, man. He took me from a very, very, very bad place, and then he brought me into a place where like I'm literally happy, even when times are difficult. Like I'm still a happy person, just full of confidence in him.
right,
Like regardless, like I know when times are tough, and sometimes you kind of like you feel like, man, this is too hard, and am I gonna get through it, man? But every time I get on my knees, bro, like answers just come. Especially when I feel like that, when I feel like I'm okay, I'm at this point now, I'm broken. Like I can't do too long feeling in a bad mood. If I feel in a bad mood for too long, it lasts for a very long time, if that makes sense.
right,
So
right.
I have to kind of get over it as soon as possible before I would avoid the feelings. That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm going to tackle them, knowing that God's going to give me the answer.
Hmm.
And from that, like literally every time I'm in some difficult problem, I'm like, this is the time I need to get. I keep it real. I'm not a big prayer like that. I'm not a big man. I'm not big on the prayer. Some guys are praying all day long, every day, all day and every day. And I'm just kind of like one of them. Pray in the morning, I pray at the night time. Throughout the day, I just kind of just say a little few things here and there, and it, like. But when time comes, like, oh, if I'm like, let's say if I got a preaching appointment or something like that,
Right.
oh, week I'm praying hard, and then like, so it's like yeah. It's just the prayers, man. It's just the prayers, and just like literally, I just have to say, is like Jesus is not letting me go, bro.
Hmm.
He's not letting me go, man. It's like, um, I couldn't do this life without Jesus. Put
Right.
it that way. I couldn't do it. So it don't make no sense me going anywhere else, like leaving the church for what?
Hmm.
Go where? Go where?
Hmm.
I'm not doing it. I'll probably go to a different church if I don't like someone, but I'm not leaving it. I'm not leaving Jesus, bro.
Yes. Yes. Final words for our viewers, man. What advice would you give those watching? Because we're trying to speak to those who similarly, like maybe exactly your situation, or maybe feeling the same thoughts and feelings, but they're not in the same situation. And I know our viewers are going to be resonating with the stories of each person.
Mm.
So, few words to them. How would you give few words of closing closing remarks in terms, encouragement to encourage them, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I'd say this: if you're like, to the viewers, if any of you are in a place where I was, where life is a struggle, feeling down, you don't feel too happy about yourself, your self-esteem is a little bit low and at times, and you're feeling depressed, just struggling, just not having the answers anyway to deal with whatever the challenges are in your life. I'd say definitely and 100%, like, give Jesus a try. Like, and I'm saying that not from the set. I'm not saying this like, man, because I've been there before, where I've heard people come to me and like, Jesus will help you, Jesus will do this, Jesus will do that. I'm like, I'm talking from a real perspective. I'm talking from somewhere where like I've experienced His help, and that's why I'm saying, like, just literally, just just try to accept Him, in the sense of like, all right then, Jesus, help me where I am. Give me an answer to get out of the situation where I am, and see what happens. And I'm sure, like, listen, because when I said it, and when I said the prayers, and when I asked Jesus to help me, I really believed that He was going to help me. The belief was there, and the answers came through, and the guilt and all those things, and the depression and everything that was in me had gone. Do you see what I'm saying? And I realized at that point my worth. And this is what's so good about Jesus, is because He lets you know what your worth is. He
Elaborate on that, bro.
I'm going to, like, He sees the value of your life as eternal life. I want you to try and just think about that for a moment. Like, what it cost Him to do on the cross cost eternal life, so that you can have eternal life. You can have life eternal, and that's your worth. Like, everything else that you're chasing, everything else that you're trying to run down and trying to feel kind of some kind of self-worth, fit into some kind of group in life, some group of people, and try and be cool, and whatever it is that whatever you're trying to do, trying to just be someone, or just to know that you're something. Know this, know that God sees you as worth everything. You just one person, like the person, whoever it is that's thinking about this right now, He's doing it. He's done everything that He's done, put His Son on the cross to die for you, because He knew that you was worth everything. And that, to me, blows my mind. Like, to think that, like, you will give up the one that you love, you will give up the one that you cared about so much, so that I can be forgiven for all the bad things that I've done, for all the foolishness that I've gone through. And then not just forgiveness, like, it's also the helping me through life, navigating me through life, where I'm living a peaceful, happy, fruitful life, where I'm like, my life from what I was before is a blessed life now. Like, I'm really happy where I am now. Like, things are just so good in my life. I feel so good. Like, I go to bed at night just feeling happy. I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling happy, like, because even when I'm going through tough times, even when I'm going through challenges, I'm still feeling happy because of what He's doing in my life. And He's doing many things, man, many things. And I'm telling you, like, the road is sweet, man. It's a sweet road. I'm not saying this from no, like, man, because I think what sometimes turns people away is sometimes the language that's mentioned, and the way people talk, and you gotta die, you gotta give up this, you gotta give up, and it's like, those things will happen once you just give your life to Jesus. Like, don't worry about all the what you gotta do. You gotta do all this stuff. Like, literally, just give your life to Him and see what He does in your life. That's my final words. To see what He does in your life. I know what He can do in your life because I've experienced it in my life. So I know for sure. I'm 100% sure that Jesus can answer the questions. Jesus can give your life a peace. He can direct you into going into a good relationship. You know what I mean? Like, and you can have a decent relationship, knowing your self-worth. You don't have to be abused by somebody else. You don't have to be treated bad by someone else. But He shows you what you are worth, and you're worth everything, man. That's it. That's my advice. Is just literally today. Don't waste no time, because He's here today, and the answer to your prayer is today. Is today.
Well, that was really Really, really good, Andrew.
Mhm.
Well, you heard it here, viewers. I really, really, really hope that in the story and every story you're going to hear, you will see true stories that will impact and transform your life. This ain't a church service. We're not inviting you to come to a building to make these outlandish commitments, come every week to hear. Nothing wrong with those things. Literally, what we're trying to do is let you see these are normal, everyday people that you may have passed in Asda, passed in Tesco's. Some of you know these people intimately, personally. Some of them are going to be your family members, maybe friends, maybe watching this who know the interviewees. And you may have not heard them or had the opportunity to hear their stories. You've seen the story, but hearing the thoughts behind the actions is different. You know, especially if it's a relative watching some of the interviews or friends, you've maybe seen the transformation, but not understanding why, what was going through their minds, you know. So this is why I really appreciate, Andrew, you being very open, especially about the depression part, the sadness, the way you were feeling. This is very important for people to hear, to understand, so they can see I'm not on my own. I'm feeling, I've felt these things. I've felt the desire to change. And it wasn't from a perspective that I didn't even know that. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do it because of God or Jesus or religion. It's just, I want to change. I want to do better. I want to be better. And it's interesting you had those feelings, and later on, it's almost like God's like, yeah, that was me working. That was me working.
100%, man. 100%. Like
You
I kind of look when I look back and I look at the story, I'm like, I see where you was. I see what you was
yeah,
doing right the way through, man. Like,
yeah.
trust me, man. And it's like it was like, yeah, man. It was a good process. I see what it kind of like. It makes more sense
No,
to allow me to go to where I went, like,
all right.
because if I didn't go that far, then I wouldn't know how sweet it is to come this far.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Those are
Mm,
bars. If I
mm,
didn't go that far, I wouldn't know how sweet it is to come this far.
mm.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man, I'm stubborn, hard-headed, man, and sometimes I need to be just cooked across the head in it, man. Because trust me, man, I struggle. I do, man. I struggle sometimes, but like because of what he did, man, it made it so, man, it made everything so easy, man, so easy. Like, so it's not. I don't think everybody's gonna have the same kind of experience that I
Mm.
went through, but enough anyway, enough to know how sweet it is, man. Enough to know. Yeah, man.
Well, you heard it here first, man. It's sweet. So, look, this is the end. I really thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment. Please don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to share the landing page with your family and friends so they can sign up to the other interviews that's going to be happening. And in fact, I don't even need to tell you, or beg, I should say, to share. If this was good and you ate from our table and you said, you know what you lot served tastes good, you're going to share this with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. So I'm not going to beg and say, oh, you know, please, please, please. But I'm going to say, just to remind you, if you did like it, just do us a favor, because if this helps you, there's many other people that this can save, and that's, yeah, and really help, you know. So thanks for watching. Take care. God bless you all, and we'll see you tomorrow evening on the next Survivors program. Thank you very much.